Ranjay, as I read through your book, Reorganize for Resilience, there was some interesting discussions around the topic of how do you customize for true customer needs, which is a very tricky issue. Most companies have a set of services and they have a set of products, and that's what they sell and that's what the customer wants. Certainly with technology-based offerings, it gets much more complex and much more difficult to make sure that what you are selling really addresses the customer needs and has an impact on their business environment. So again, when I read your book, I read about the concept of foreseeing and adapting continuously to customer needs. Very interesting concept you brought out there. Could you talk about that, certainly in terms of how companies can make sure they're really providing a solution to their customer base?
So I think it's important to understand that people sometimes confound and say that solutions by definition have to be customized. That every customer has a unique set of needs, and so that means tailoring it, not to throw another buzzword and jargon at you, but the days of mass customization, that I can customize for everybody and everyone is unique and I can find a way to do that. I think it's important for certain customers to be able to customize solutions and create tailored offerings for the customers where it's economically viable to do that. But I think the holy grail also is in creating scalable solutions where you're able to create offerings that address a set of problems for a group of customers. So for instance, if you look at Best Buy, a company discussed in my book, the realization for Best Buy was they had a percentage of their customers who are small business owners. And small business owners have very distinctive needs. So we can't tailor it for every small business owner, so we need to have scalable solutions for small business owners. Or the realization that you have female customers who shop at Best Buy. 55% of customers shopping at Best Buy are women. And this is a store designed by guys for guys. And no surprise to you and me that most female customers had a rather unpleasant shopping experience at Best Buy. They only shopped there because that was the only choice they had. So now you start to think about how can I create, now I can't again go down the individualization path. I have to create some scalable model, especially in the consumer space. You see this even more extremely, but even in the business enterprise space, where you say, yes, for my large enterprise customers, I need to customize, but how can I then create this? The second part of your question really is around being adaptive. And the point I discovered as I researched this book was that for companies to be adaptive to shifting customer needs, they had to create a very adaptive organization. And by that I meant an organization where the bridges, the connections between the different parts of the organization were very, very adaptive as well. So it was not simply pre-orchestrating saying, you three divisions, I'm going to have a task force between three of you because we need to work together for this particular customer. It was about the ability to create bridges when you needed to and disentangle bridges when you didn't need them anymore. So this is what I call in the book systemic integration. And this is the idea that the nature of integration we need to have between companies today is far more complex than ever before. We always needed to integrate silos. You can go back 100 years, hundreds of years, and you always need to connect silos, whether in church or in government or in military forces, whatever. But the nature of integration we have in organizations today is much more complex. These are knowledge-intensive organizations which span geographic boundaries, work across product areas, serving a diverse array of customers. How to make that connection happen and work, that is the challenge for adaptive organizations.